And it was so nice, especially when I was young, or something. The whole family came. We got together. We celebrated jumpers together, holidays together. And I didn't even know what is to be bad or what. My mother always raised us to be good, kind, and helpful. Every Friday, she made up packages, food and money, and sent us out to do mitzvahs. I grew up that mitzvahs is very important, and we always had a lot of Jewish bochers staying with us, having dinner. Mother always said, children, I don't want you to say about first, because these young men are our guests of honors. So I was very fortunate. I grew up and I was really happy. Then it came to the age that I had to go to high school. So my parents didn't want me to go to non-Jewish gymnasium, so they sent me to Novgorod. And I went to a Jewish, Orthodox Jewish school, and I lived in a boarding school which was Orthodox Schwarzman. And I used to come home for vacation, but the life home was wonderful. My grandmother from my father's side, who was from Komoshvar, came every Pesach to us with my uncle. My grandfather used to live in the city with us, but suddenly in a Shabbat he passed away, so he didn't survive to be taken to Auschwitz. And one day I get a call from my mother. She said to me, please come home, leave your things in the boarding school. Maybe we are going back shortly, but at the moment you have to come home. In that time it already was required to wear the Star of David if you were Jew. And the director from the boarding school gave me a Hungarian name, Fazekas Marichka, and told me that I shouldn't speak to nobody on the train. They gave me Goyish school's name, where I go in the name. And they took me to the train, and I went, opened the compartment door, and there were two men. I was shy. I was only 11. I was shy. And I closed the door, and the young man came back and said, please come back. We don't hurt young ladies. Please come back. So we stay with our compartment. And soon the train was leaving. A German, I don't know, officer, I don't know the ranks, and a Hungarian came in. And they came right away to me. They wanted my identification. I had no papers with me. The Hungarian gentleman, he was a Hungarian count. Other one was his butler. And he said, please leave this compartment. I am Count this and this, and Fazekas Marichka is my guest. She's in my company. Please leave. So this is when the miracle began. Because if that Count wouldn't be there, they would have taken me right from the train to Auschwitz. So I came home. It was Erev Pesach. It was very sad. Everybody was so sad. My grandmother, my uncle didn't come for Passover. So I asked my mom, why are you so sad? She says, Lila, don't be concerned. Everything is going to be okay. But wasn't okay. The Pesach was very, very sad and very tense. And then one day came in, I don't know how many Hungarians, officers, soldiers, and they got us and took us to the ghetto, Botporton ghetto. We had to leave everything behind. Matter of fact, before they picked us up, my parents told us, children, don't be sad, because we have money in the Swiss bank, and we're going to make sure we get another nice home. And I looked up, I said, it's not important. the main thing we should be always together. And my mother said, that's right, because it would be message of always together. So in ghetto, life was misery because they took out the Jewish man.
I'm gonna stand here. Try to focus this way, okay? Thank you.
And
start again from the ghetto.
we were in the ghetto, and life in ghetto was migrants. Over 150 people in a compartment. So the smell and everything was horrible. And we were all the time crying. I don't know how long it took the journey arriving to Auschwitz. The only thing I know, arriving to Auschwitz, it was a chaos. Big dogs were barking, everybody was screaming, and there were the Polish Jewish men dressed in striped uniforms. They got us off. They right away took away my mother, my little brother, and my sister and I were kept in the right. When we went, we had to march in front of Dr. Mengele. And first went one aunt with the daughter, then one other aunt with the daughter and the little boy. Then was another aunt with that mother with two girls. And then we came, and they sent my mother to the left, but I didn't want to be separated, so I went back to be with my mother. And Mengele sent a German soldier who got me, threw me to the floor, kept kicking and beating me. And I remember seeing my mother like this and crying, my little brother, come back to us. I never saw them anymore. Next stop was the so-called washroom. I had good clothes and good shoes, but they took away my clothes, my shoes, and they shaved our head. And I remember I thought it was all men because no woman had hair, so I didn't know how to put things together. And then they put us in a barrack. My number was 20, barrack 28. And Mengele came every day choosing people for the crematorium, every single day. One day, Mengele chose my sister. And the same time, there were two girls from our city, Bobby, Lilly, Haley. And I went to Bobby and I said, listen, when we can sneak out, I'm going to sneak out and get Haley to come back. She said to me, no, you stay there and I go. So, okay. She went, and then every morning we didn't do nothing in Auschwitz. We stayed cellar outside. It was raining, cold, warm, didn't matter. Mengele every day chose girls for the crematorium. One day, I don't know, 10 days or 2 weeks, they brought back these girls who were taken to Auschwitz. One was 12, one was 14. They took them to entertain the troops. They were put on the platform. They were quite few, but you couldn't recognize their faces. From the misery, their faces was changed. And then they shot in front of everybody. I wanted to go. She said, no, you stay, I go. So this memory is always with me. And Auschwitz, I was in Auschwitz from the arrived Shavuot, the beginning of June. And I was there till end of September after the holidays. I can describe to you the smoke of smell, the gray sky, and the fear. I was praying every day. Not to God won't let my sister to be taken away. So he answered my prayer because we stayed together. And I felt my mother's presence with the whole ordeal. I felt she was with me through the whole ordeal. And I don't know how we knew. Yes, one day I went to the so-called washroom, and there was this little girl crying. And I said to her, are you sick? She said, no, I'm not sick. I'm crying because my mother and my sister was taken away. She said, by the way, forgive me. I'm not crying because I'm considered Jewish, because I was raised Catholic. My father is a captain in the Hungarian army. And I said to her, my name, Lilly lady. And I said, don't cry. I can't promise a whole lot, but I'm going to go back and find a girl who will change, and you will come and stay with us, and we're going to be like sisters, like sisters. So she stops crying. She said to me, thank you. I said, I'm happy that I met you. So I went back and I told my sister that I met this girl, her name is Magda. She says to me, she started to shake me. She said, please, please don't let your mind go, because if she's Catholic, she can be here. I said, trust me, she is here. Why is she here? I said, from tomorrow, we're going to be together. And she was crying, so sad. So I didn't want to make her to be more sad. So I said, then we will together, I will find out why she is here. Anyway, we found a girl who was willing, she had no one, so she was willing to change. So she went. I couldn't wait for next day to go and get Magda. And I don't know the time of the day, but I went in the block 15, because I asked her what block she's in 15. And I went there, and I always remember a tall, skinny girl came over, said to me, is your name Lilly lady? You're looking for Lukács Magda? I said, yes. She said, Lukács Magda was chosen by Dr. Mengele a few hours ago. By no most likely she's cremated. But she left her message. Thank you and don't cry. It's for the best. So I can't describe to you the weeks and the days came. My sister and I, we were crying and crying, so hopelessly, because I just met her, and she apologized. She, please forgive me, I'm not crying because I'm considered Jewish. So we were here, and I really don't know. We were taken, it was end of September, but we knew that in Yom Kippur, don't ask how we knew, but we knew it's Yom Kippur. And the German gave you food late evening, long time after Kol Nidre. And next morning they gave you food 8 o'clock. And they didn't give you food till next day. So I didn't eat for 48 hours. But you don't need food, you don't need nothing. You need God. If you pray to God, you always have help. Because, you know, with all the misery, I never was sick. But I always prayed. Then one day, in a Shabbat, we were chosen. We didn't know nothing was going on. We were taken to a train station. We were put again in cattle wagons. We were taken to Fallersleben, which was next to Berlin. We worked underground in the ammunition factory. In this same time, they were taken over government. They were taken to Magdeburg, and they were executed. And we were taken to Fallersleben. We worked here day and night. One night I was very, very tired. I said to my sister, please, because we had barrels and covered with straws, I have to go to sleep. Cover me with some straw. But while I was breathing, the foreman saw the thing lifting. And he came over, he digged me out with the food. It was an SS. The first SS was a well-met guy. He looked at me, he said, I would have ordered to shoot you, to kill you instantly. But I have home a little girl you raised. I'm not going to kill you. But don't do this anymore. So she let me go. Then, early March, the factory, we heard Achtung, Achtung, bombarded Berlin, the factory was bombed. And we were put outside to collect the ruins. was 10, 15 below. The same, and I didn't get no frostbite, no nothing. It's a miracle. But I prayed, and I must tell you, through the whole ordeal, I never ate rice. Here in the working place, they gave you bits and pieces of pork. I wouldn't touch it. I leave with a piece of dry bread in black coffee. That's all I eat. I never touched this. And then, after they bombed the factory, we were working like, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks, collecting the ruins. And then again, one day, they didn't say nothing. They put us on trains. And they took us to Glassman. It was Sunday when we arrived to Glassman. And people were going to church. Everybody was parents together with kids. I don't have to tell you, I was crying. Anyway, they took us here to a camp. There were dozens and dozens of girls. Wherever Hitler went, more like girls here. And I can describe to you the dirt and the smell that was there. The ground was covered with lice. You could see the sand moving with lice. We were here maybe a couple of months. Then one day, they told us that the Oberschaft, the vice coach is missing. They won't be back by 10 o'clock. Every 5th person going to be shot in the head. By 10 o'clock, the luggage door opened. We saw a tank with a couple Americans. Opened the luggage door. The German threw their ranks on the floor with hands up. The Oberschaft wanted to run away, so they shot him. The luggage door opened. Maybe they were more on the same level too. And they said, you are free, you are free, you are free. So my sister and I took a walk, and we hit a dairy place. There were barrels and barrels of sour cream. And I put my head in it. I looked till the legs could push me. We had enough. Then we walked to a bakery. In the bakery, my sister and I got a loaf of white bread, but we didn't touch the bread. This was like a treasure. I don't know if expensive feeling what I had. So anyway, we walked back to the camp. And by the time we got back to the camp, the American troops arrived. And they said, anyone who speaks English, please step forward. My sister and I spoke fluent English. When I was in the boarding school, it wasn't like Klein, but we chose the language English. So I don't know, he was a reporter or he was an officer. He came over, extended his hand, and he said to me, how do you do, young lady? When he said that, I started to cry. Just yesterday, I was beat and kicked, called for Fluchterjuden. And this man called me young lady. So he kept apologizing. He says, please forgive me. Did I do something wrong? I said, no, sir. When I'm happy, I cry. I couldn't talk to you my emotion. They told us to translate to our other sisters that tonight we're going to have a banquet, we're going to celebrate our liberation. And do not go out in the city because you may be poisoned or you may be shot. Please stay in the camp. And pretty soon we're going to get a care package. The American bought us little care package, a washcloth, a toothbrush, a toothpaste, an orange, chocolate. So that was something like a big treasure. Tonight, the German came back to the camp and threw a bomb on the camp. So many girls were liberated, died. And the two Americans, it makes me cry, the two young Americans who was guarding the door, they killed them, but not only killed them, they mutilated them. Next morning, you could see the foot, the heads cut off. I was too young to ask that name, but when I used to go to school, colleges lecturing about the Holocaust, I used to say, stand up, pray a little, a moment silence, and memory of this young man. So I can describe to you, after this, the Americans brought us over to elite Hitler school because the camp wasn't safe anymore, and we got doctor care. Well, in fact, I had an incident with the doctor. He came in, he said to me, "Please take off your clothes, I want to examine you." I stood up and I screamed at him, "Don't ever, ever tell me to take off my clothes because I won't do it. You understand? I won't do it." So he came over, he says to me, "I'm so sorry. I'm Jewish myself. Please accept my apologies. I'm glad I came to you because they told me to speak English. Because now when I go to examine the other girls, I won't ask them to take off their clothes." So here was life. I can't say it good, but was a miracle. We were free people. We were treated like family. They offered me, because I worked like interpreter, to eat in the officer canteen. But I told them I only kosher. So we got some canned food, and there were some lager sisters who were so close, we stayed together. Then, I think a month later, the Americans told us that they had to leave. They're going to Japan. But I should come. They would have to get to the United States. So I looked at my sister, and being in Auschwitz, seeing the gray sky, smelling the smoke, I thought that my mother, my little brother, Shmuel, will be home. He was 10 years old. And I looked at my sister and I said, "What do you think?" He said, "No, we should go home because your parents will come home and they won't find us. They will be very sad." So I thank very much the officers and everybody because they were like family. I thank them, but I said we want to go home, so we have no choice staying with the Russian. The Russian came, and they put us together with the German SS. We didn't know to speak to them, and the American gave us some oranges, some chocolate. The Russian took away everything from us. And they treated us like the German prisoners, the SS. We screamed and screamed. So went by, I think, a week, and one Saturday evening, they put us in trains, and they took us to Bergen-Belsen. Bergen-Belsen was occupied by English. When I got off from the train, the German wanted us to stay there in camp. Nobody, or the Russian, nobody, we run away. But the only thing that struck me right away were the graves with a wooden stake, 1,500, 1,500 graves. So I said to myself, most likely I don't see it like this. It can be possible. So then I went into the block and I met with other girls. I said, "What is this really true, the grave?" They said to me, "Yes. When the English came, the German were distributing arsenic bread. And 90% of the girls took the white bread and died. So only 10% were left." So the British were very, very good to us. And I worked again like interpreter. One day in the office came in a Jewish man. He looks at me. He says to me, "Is your name Lilly?" I said, "You know me?" He said, "No, but you resemble so much your father. You look just like your father." "Your father, Levi Joseph?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Where is he?" He said, "He is at Australian hospital recuperating, but he's getting better. He's okay." So I said to him, "Excuse me." I ran into the general, and I was shaking. says to me, little girl, anybody hurt you? Who hurt you? I said, no, sir, no, sir. My father is alive. Where is he? I said, excuse me, sir, I will be right back. I went out, I got this Jewish man and came in and told the general that is my father. So he said, today is Wednesday. So by Friday, I'm going to give you a jeep to go and bring your father here. I said, I can't go. He said, what do you mean you can't go? I'm a father. If one of my children would come to see me, I would get them instantly. You have to go. I said, yes, but my sister is sick with double pneumonia. He said, but your sister is on the recovery road, and she's doing just fine, and she has all the medical care she needs. But you can't tell your sister, you can't tell nobody where you go, because it could be a shock to your sister. Just say to her that you're going to go to do some interpretive work. So there were few Jewish soldiers there, and they gave me gifts they knew. One gave me a shirt, one gave me underwear, one gave me a siddur, a prayer book, and one gave me a wristwatch. So Friday morning, I said goodbye to my sister, and we were crying. She said, take care of yourself. I said, remember, I'm the strong one. You'll be well by the time I get back. So we arrived Saturday, early morning, I don't know what, 8, 10 o'clock, maybe 8. And I said to the two drivers, I can't go to Central Tillian. So they looked at me, they said, little girl, you're losing your mind? I said, by this time I started to cry. I said, no, but my father, I come from a background. We did not travel on Saturday or Shabbat. Please must understand, if my father would see me coming on Saturday, he would get very sick. So they looked at me, they said, don't cry, we're going to go to the park. So we went in the park, they kept asking me, you see the stars? I said, when you see the stars, I see it too. So we stayed till the star came up, and we left. I don't know really the time when we arrived to Central Tillian Hospital was run by monks. They had no registration office. I spoke a little bit German, so I told them I came to look for my father, and they told me they have no office registration, nothing. To find my father, I have to go room by room. So I said to the two drivers, I have to go to find my father. They said, okay, go. So I went room by room. I only saw skeleton, dying people. So I took the underwear, I went to the bathroom, I wet it in, I washed quite a few people's forehead. And I was trying to talk to them. They were burning with high fever. I told them, don't cry and don't give up, because you are free. You are free. Look at me. I came here all the way from another camp. I'm looking for my father. Your children must be looking for you. I don't know if I understood. They were very sick. So I came to one room where I saw a gentleman. He was better. I called him gentleman because he wasn't sick. He was okay. And I was so pleased to see him. So I gave him all the gifts, the wristwatch, the shirt, everything except the siddur that I didn't have, the prayer. I came outside and I looked up at the sky. If I could have died that moment, I wish I could have died. I wanted to die. I was so lost. When the two drivers came over, they said to me, little girl, don't cry. You know any relative close by? I said, yes, I have a cousin, Vida. He's in Feldafing. He said, they looked up on the map. He said, yes, they occupied the Americans. We're going to go there. So we arrived to the Feldafing. What happened Thursday, my cousin Vida came to Central Tillian Hospital and took my father, but I did not know. So we arrived to that hospital, to the Feldafing. In the loudspeaker, they were calling Vida. The same, there was a wizard, an older man, was 40, for me was old. And he wasn't altogether. I remember being a little girl. The little girls made fun of him. And my mother always told me, you talk to those girls who make fun of him. Tell them that's very bad, because he's sick, he can't help it. So this meme came out. And when I saw him, I was so happy. I kept hugging and kissing him. I wouldn't let him go. He says to me, what do you want from me? Your father is here. But I didn't want to leave him. So anyway, he went and got my father. You see, where is the door? There was my father. I was here. I couldn't move. I froze. Then suddenly, I ran there. We hugged each other. We kissed and cried. He says to me, Lila, anybody, you know anything of money, of nourishment, God? I said, no, I'm only together with my sister, Klein. He said, we were crying. Then he says to me, excuse me, Lila. He went to the other room. He came back with a brown bag. He saved the candy that the nuns were giving it to him when he was recuperating for his journey. I wanted to die, I cried. So I said to him, Tati, I have presents too. I gave away everything. I only think I kept you. I kept the cinema. So he says to me, I still have the cinema. He says to me, don't cry. That's the only present I would want. And the biggest present that you are here. So the cousin came in, was breakfast time. Asked us to come have breakfast. I couldn't eat. I didn't see my father eating. My cousin ate, and there were two more men from the city, and there were some ladies in the camp. So the afternoon I spent together with them. I got offer from the English to stay there, no interpreter. I said, thank you so much, but I have to go back. I mean, from the Americans, this is American, so not to go back. I said, no, I have my sister there, and I have to go back. So they understood. So next morning we left. I asked the driver if it's okay to take two more men. He said, sure, anything you say, little girl, we'll do it. So we came back. I don't know, take up 2-3 days to come back. And my sister, Baruch Hashem, was doing better. And I can't describe to you. We were a family. So we stayed there till after Yom Tov. But in Bergen-Belsen, I did interpreting work. Yes, and I have to tell you. I went to one of the, I looked in the hospitals if I see family members. And I saw a lady, her name was Dronenberg Haller. And she was, I think was recuperating from typhoid. She was quite sick. So I went to the officer canteen, and every day I got a little, but I asked her what she would like for the Hungarian Jewish dish, the string with the sour cream. And I asked her, I went back to the canteen, officer canteen, and I asked the chef to do me this soup. And he did what he did. I came back, I was feeding her day by day. And she got better, and I arranged for her to be taken to Davos, Switzerland. And anybody I could help, I helped. I dedicated my life. Anything I can do, helping another person, I'm good. It was an honor for me to be able, and I thank him every day, and I prayed every day for the sin I had, that I had my father back, my Schwester, in our we were sure we're going to go home, we're going to find the family together. Being in Auschwitz, seeing the smell, the smoke, smelling the smoke, seeing the dark sky, we still were sure that we're going to be with the parents and family together. But was so we decided to go back, and on the way back, we stopped in Budapest. Hollander, my cousin, who is my mother's sister's daughter, was living to go there to because we met in Auschwitz and she lived with her husband in Budapest. But we stayed there for Shabbat in a few days. And then we came back. That's okay, we'll go back. And then we came back.
One second.
That's
Just, yeah, 1 second, because it's coming to the thing.
to what invited us to the Torah. And I made him happy. He cried a lot because we cried for mother, but you know, I gave him the Yiddish nachas to have the grandchildren and to be together. Between the time, my sister, my brother-in-law couldn't get to America. They went to Venezuela, Caracas. He did a notification, he became a lawyer. And then a family came out from Europe, Gonda, who is now in Los Angeles, multi-millionaire, and stayed with them. And one day, some friends gave dinner for my brother and my sister. He did a notification, became a lawyer. So they went to dinner. And Gonda's mother was in the car with them. And my little nephew was 5, 6 years old. They were going to dinner, and on the way to dinner, somebody hit her down. My sister and my brother-in-law died from the accident. Gonda's mother got very, very hurt, so very shortly she passed away. My little nephew wasn't himself. He broke his shoulder. He was in the hospital. And he had in Venezuela was it? My brother-in-law. Sister was there. And his brother, husband, was a physician. He stayed with them for a while. Then he came to Israel. My brother-in-law had another brother who was a lawyer in Israel, and that was my father. So he came and stayed with my father and the other uncle. So I couldn't wait to come to Israel to see him. So when I came, he cried and I cried. He said, I don't want to stay here. I want to go back with you. I said, Tata, I can't do it at the moment. But when you turn 18, I'll bring you over. And I did. And we lived, Baruch Hashem, very happy life. And he didn't like his climate. His connecting was very cold. So I arranged for him with contact to go to college in Los Angeles. He went to college. Then he met this girl who was an orphan girl. He called me one day, says to me, Aunt, would you help me to get married? I said, Tadala, I am honored. Sure. I said, I call you right back. Let me call the rabbi. I called the rabbi. That time was the rabbi's name. And I told him, he says, Vivian and I planned on vacation, but for such a simcha, in honor, we stay. So I called him back, and I said, give me the girl's name. So I said, you come anytime you wish, I will be ready. I figured the shul will help me to do the husband, but the shul couldn't do it. They were busy with some other party. So anyway, I called up Lola, and I said, Lola, Ronnie loves you, and I love you. Come tomorrow, I'm ready, and we go out and go buy wedding gown, and I will treat you by breakfast and bread, and I will treat you with everything. I knew she's an orphan girl, so I wanted to make her really what I can do for her to be happy. So she came next day, and I bought her breakfast every day in bed. It was Hanukkah time when we did the husband. And I did not know that Hanukkah time you don't fast. I made them to fast because you can't get married and not fasting. If you want to have brucha in your life, you have to fast. Between the times, on these 10 days, I was cooking and baking and cooking and baking, except the challah, the small challah, in the wedding cake I was having the rest. I had everything. Luckily, it was very cold, so I can store some food in the garage. So came the day of the Hassanan. I was up all night long. I set the tables. I did everything. But I had a very, very good friend locally who was, her husband was a physician, Paula Rosen, and she came with, and I had a maid who was with us when we did it. It was Christmas Day, but she came to help to warm up the food and to have things ready. So we went to shul, we had a kuppah and everything is shul, and after shul, after the kuppah, and yes, the rabbi said, because it was such a bad day, suddenly the sun came up, and rabbi said that your parents are here with us. Everybody was crying because you see the sun. So we went back home. I had buffet style dinner. I had everything in the desk. I had food, I had everything. In downstairs, I put out the mitzvah so they can dance, and we did a very, very nice wedding. In Baruch Hashem, they are wonderfully, wonderfully happy. When they got married, my nephew's wife didn't want too much of Yiddishkeit, but we taught her. One time I even came for Pesach. I used to come to Pesach right, but I came down to Pesach. And I showed her around there. She's glad kosher. Not only that, they have 3 children. The oldest son, Tad, is a rabbi. The other son is a very big position in computers, and the daughter is teaching cooking. So a really, really very, very nice family. You met her, she knows. So, Baruch Hashem for everything. I tell you, living in America, it was like a dream coming to reality because they liberated me. They gave me back my freedom, my dignity, and the right to be human again. And we cried in corners when nobody saw us. Because when I needed the most my mother, I didn't have it. And I had a little brother who was 10 years old. He used to go to Heder and he had a private teacher who came to the hospital. And he always dreamt, he thought about him becoming balanced. He never made it. So life, you know, is not easy. But Baruch Hashem for everything. Baruch Hashem, I have a daughter. Son-in-law, Baruch Hashem, and 2 nice, very nice grandchildren. I tell you, my grandson recently said to me, Bobby, I want to be a lawyer magician, but I don't want to be the lawyer for the money. I want to be like you, Bobby, helping everybody. I want to be like you. So I have a lot of musician matters. And I'm very, very orthodox, very, very religious. I never eat before I pray. In Monday and Thursday, my mother never ate before 12, after 12. So I never would eat till after 12. I pray, but I never eat. So I thank you for everything. Thank you for taking the video.
I have some questions.
Yes.
The Rebbe Shea.
Ashes. Stay, please. I can talk about it. I talk about that.
We'll go back to it later.
When the teacher, Sholami, told me to go into the mitzvahs, and I went. And when I came home, the apartment was wide open. And I said to the doorman, if you open the apartment, why didn't you have the decency to close it? He said, Miss Klein, I did not open. I called the police. The police came out and asked me if I had an encounter with anyone. I said, not really, but I had a man who came quite often to the door, rang the doorbell. I said, who is it, a friend? Hollander told me not to open the door to nobody. You can't talk to strangers and don't open the door. So, showing me the pictures, I said, that's the man. So the policeman came over, put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, Miss Klein, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. This man goes after a blonde woman and kills her. I was arguing with us. So they told me, they changed the life. They told me do not leave the place for the whole week. They will keep in touch with me. They will have a policeman in private clothes in the building. They will get him because he won't give up on me. He will be back. And he put a hand on my shoulder and said, lady, Miss Klein is so lucky. So lucky. And a week, during the end of the week, they got him. So they called me, they told me, you are free, you can go now anywhere. You are free. And the other thing I forgot to tell you, one Sunday was ringing the doorbell, and Donnenberg Hallen was at the door. I opened the door, I said, Hallen, I can't believe it, it's a miracle. She said, you saved my life, and I found out it was you, so I came to surprise you. Can I stay with you for a few days, or do you want to go for that? I said, no, Helen, you stay with us. So she came, she had money with her, she wanted to give me money. So I said, you know something? Baruch Hashem, I have everything I need. Let's go to the shul. Let's give the money to the synagogue.
Do you understand the context?
What?
You connected the stories to each other. She's the woman that she had saved. The woman who came to her door
Right.
was the woman that she had saved with the string beans and sour cream
That she mentioned earlier.
that you mentioned earlier.
Okay, well, we'll put it
Okay,
together.
connected together. What do you want me to say about Auschwitz?
But you, first of all,
Tell me what you want to say.
no, what was she, what's your,
I know, I just.
what was it?
When
She
that you were
There were few Jewish men who got so many Shabbat packages from home, and we celebrated. We prayed and we cried. But the parents sent care packages to us. They were Jewish.
Who?
Jewish soldiers from Brooklyn.
Repeat the sentence again.
They were Jewish boys from Brooklyn, but I don't remember their name. Maybe they see the video, they will contact me. I was liberated, put the date, April 14, 1945, Zarsweder. Maybe one of the officers, somebody will see the video, will contact me. Maybe.
So just repeat it in one sentence, in a straight sentence. Say when you were liberated the first Shabbos, you got back. Say so.
When we were liberated Saturday. The following Shabbat, we were lighting candles. We were Friday night. We were making kiddush with grape juice. And we were celebrating Shabbat. The Jewish boys got care packages from home. And we had food. We had some food from Brooklyn. It was a miracle. It was a plain miracle. And being together with Jewish men who could say the prayers, who had Talis and Torah.
When did they establish a new shul after the war? When did you first see a shul? When was the first time that they set up a shul with a minyan?
When I came home. When I came home,
Repeat to where's home, the city, where you came to.
in Mayaspri in Romania, in Hungary, from 40 to 45 was Hungary, so the Hungarian took us away, was Felsőbánya. Everything's coming to SUNY Albany College. Would you be so kind to, I know you're friend with him, introduce me? I said, sure, Rabbi, how about a picture? Oh, no. I said, Rabbi, I take care. I pick you up. And I introduced to Lilly, I have a picture, I show you, I have the picture here. Yes, yes. In fact, I said to Abby, we meet very, very special, honorable friend, Rabbi Lilly. Yeah, yes. Easy to see. Yes. We're ready to come to Washington. In April, they have a big celebration to be his guest. It's in National County. He told me, I don't know, the years of revelation, they doing a big party. He told me. I even got a letter from Spielberg too. Yeah. I'm friendly, Gary. We think alike. In, you know, he told me things of background and I told him background. We share some nice memories. He's a real man. Not because he's my friend, but he's a real man. You know, I'll never get impressed by title or position. Only what impresses me, person is a man. The rest, I don't care. Can be, I don't care who is it, but it is.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Did you have any therapy, any counseling to get past all your horrific?
No. Pray. I pray.
Because it's
I went here to Elam school not long ago, a year ago. And one of the girls stood up and said to me, Miss Klein, after all you've been through, how come you're so religious? I looked at her, I said, I want to tell you, I'm proud to be Jewish, and I'm proud to pray. And I tell you, all you girls here, don't cry and don't complain. Pray. You have always help. You don't need nothing, just prayers. That's all you need, prayers.
I'm going to ask you a question that a lot of similar to what those students asked,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit more sharp and straight to the
Okay.
point. How will you answer? What will you answer to people that complain and they say, "Where was God during the Holocaust?"
I have no answer,
No, but
because he's above us. And I can't do nothing like that. It's a sin. I can't do nothing. He's above us. I can't do that. He's everything for me. He's everything for me.
during the Holocaust, was there ever a question? Did anybody in Auschwitz or did anybody during the Holocaust ever question where is God?
I don't know. I only talk about myself. I praise all the time. I don't know. I have no idea.
You didn't hear anybody around you.
when you say you prayed, what do you mean?
I put my words together to God. I ask His for help. And for some, I don't know how to explain to you. I felt my mother's presence through the whole ordeal and I felt my mother was there. I felt her presence. Like my grandfather was called Sadik, real mensch, real mensch.
Was there ever a time where you went through such a terrible and horrible experience that you felt that you asked yourself, where is Hashem?
No. When I felt bad, I prayed. No. He's everything to me. I don't mention His name, only standing. Only today I didn't sitting. Never. He's everything. He helps me to live. He helps me with everything. No, no. I ask his blessing all the time for everything. No, no. I never do taste a cake or anything before saying the bracha. Never, never, never. Almighty to wash my hands. Never, never, never. And I never would eat, never, never before I pray. My mother, rest in peace, used to say 2 and 5 a day. In the morning and in the afternoon, sat by the window before cat talk, etc. I used to say that every day too. I don't say it every day. I tell you the truth, but I say it.
Did you have a hard time with your Hebrew reading after the war, since you didn't do it throughout the...
No, no. Came back everything perfect. Everything perfect.
Were there any parts that you remembered by heart that you used to say while in camp in Auschwitz?
I used to. You know.
You had the siddur with you?
They had nothing. They took away everything. You know what I had with me? I had a necklace with a mezuzah. And I took off, I gave away all the jewelry, and I put the mezuzah in my mouth. I had the mezuzah with a teeth bite. I gave it to my daughter. Yes, I have it. My daughter has it. My teeth bite on it. I never started from it. I have it. That's the only thing. Yes. Mm-hmm. Never. Like I said, I'm proud to be Jewish. It's such a special feeling for me that I can pray and I can ask for blessing.
Any other questions?
You have any questions?
Anytime?
I will have to show you a picture which elevator in Ramanubi.
And remember when Herman Wouk came?
Yeah, that's right.
We also, remember the concert? How did you know Herman Wouk? No, not Herman Wouk.
No, I don't know.
No, the other one, the singer.
I don't
Not
know.
Herman Wouk. He's a famous, he sings in, I mean, you sponsored that concert.
I know. I have to think of that.
Okay.
Doesn't come to me now.
Somebody else said as well.
He recommended to me a young man. The young man's sister was married, like his G was the Phoenix factory.
What factory?
Phoenix.
Okay.
Was like G here.
Okay.
Million of people. Anyway, they invited me there. The shopman bought me for much there. And the young man had a gift for me, a pearl in a box. And he gave it to me. I said, I don't accept presents from strangers. And I'm not a person for presents. I'm a person who likes somebody, but not for presents. I give it back. Her name was Bolichko. I remember, oh my God, the sister. I don't remember his name, but I remember the sister. She said to me, my brother really likes you, and I'm doing the biggest wedding in the world. And my brother, I like it. I said, I'm going to tell you something, because you offered me so much money. Why don't you distribute your money? People who need it. I don't need it, and I'm not ready to get married. But he's a very important, good man, this and that. I said, I tell you something. I don't believe in stuff like that. You live in two different worlds. And thank you for inviting me, but don't invite me anymore. I don't believe in it. Hold it right there.
Very outspoken.
I don't believe people who want to impress you with money or gifts, I'm not interested. Not interested. Give it to it. Baruch Hashem, here in town, I have very big Quran. The rabbi says everybody, very, very good Quran. Very, very big. Very, very big. Big house. All over, everybody. I used to go here to yeshivas. this week. Last year I went to the Jewish Community Center and they were giving lunch in my honor. And I spoke with them. So many older people came over and said, there you get the strength. Pray, you get strength. That's it. That's how I live my life. And I tell you, my husband got an envelope. He fell in the living room. And for a few minutes he was talking. It happened we were in Germany because my granddaughter was going to France for a year, exchange student with a Jewish family. So the kids went with their daughter to see what kind of mashpucha, what kind of family, if they like it good, if not, they're coming back. So we stayed there. And we fell in the living room. And for a few minutes he was talking. Mama Shannon, pick me up, don't leave me on the floor, don't leave me on the floor. Then he stopped. Then I don't know nobody here, so they had a very good friend who was originally from Borough Park. And I called Jackie, and Jackie called in the ambulance. But when I was here, I saw the Jewish newspaper, and I saw the hospital. So I said, yeah, she called in the ambulance came, and they wanted to take him to the Jersey Shore Hospital. I said, can you take me to my United Hospital? He said, by all means. So anyway, when they took the CAT scan, and they told me that he's going to be here for an hour or two or a day, I passed out. So I was in the ambulance all night long. So next morning they put us in a room. And a minister came in. I said, sir, you're in the wrong place. I'm Jewish. He said, but you're not listed. I said, I'm not listed because I passed out. I wasn't talking to Robert. I said, can you send me the rabbi? But then I didn't trust him. So I went. And I stood by the door and I saw the man look at me like a rabbi. I said, are you the rabbi? He said, what can I do for you? I said, I'm Jewish. You're not listed. I said, I couldn't be listed because I passed out, but I'm Jewish. So he came in, sat down, and from then on, other people came and visited. But anyway, I want to tell